on this. Sit down, boomer. What did she just say? I said, sit down, boomer. And I don't mean that. I'm Gen X. This is for all the people who tell people over 50 to sit down and make room for the younger people. And while I respect all ages, today we're talking about people over 50. So you're not necessarily a boomer if you're over 50. You could be Gen X like myself. And if you're a boomer, good for you. Today's episode is because society often tells us that after 50, our career paths are set. The best years are behind us. I say fuck you to society. What if that's completely wrong? What if your 50s, 60s, and beyond are actually the prime time to discover your true calling? To pivot into a second act career that's more rewarding than anything you've done before. So get ready to challenge assumptions and explore how purpose can flourish at any age. Welcome back to Sip on This, the show where we talk about love, life, and all the messy, beautiful transitions that make us human. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. I am your host, Deirdre Haggerty, a certified career, life, and relationship coach, and the founder of Coaching with Miss D, which offers life, relationship, and career coaching to align your values and vision of life. And I am here to remind you that purpose never expires. I am so excited you're joining me today to have a conversation, coffee in hand, as we chat about life, careers, relationships, which isn't just about your significant other. During the holiday season, it could be about, drunk uncle or racist, anti-Semitic aunt, and all the little things that can shape who we are. I won't lecture you or tell you what to do. It's just the two of us, sometimes three when I have a guest, in a coffee shop, this cute little one behind me, chatting about topics that make us laugh or drive us nuts. Today's episode is for anyone who's ever whispered to themselves, is this all there is? Because society loves to tell us that once we hit 50, the script is written. Bullshit. The career is set. Bullshit. The passions are hobbies. Double bullshit. The dreams? Those should have been handled in your 20s and 30s. I'm calling bullshit on all of that today. What if your 50s, 60s, and even your 70s are actually your most powerful, purpose-filled decades? I know someone who's 80, who's thriving in her business. She is aspirational. What if now is the perfect time to pivot, reinvent, and finally align your work with who you truly are? So go ahead, grab your drink, settle in, because today we're talking second act careers. And trust me, it's never too late. It's never too late to live a life that lights you up. So let's start with the truth. Many of us spend decades doing what we had to do. Raising families like me, paying bills, they suck. Working jobs, that paid our mortgage, but didn't feed the soul. I have been there. If you've watched any of my other podcasts, you know I have been there. By the time we hit 50, a lot of the noise quiets down. Maybe you're an empty nester. And suddenly, we hear ourselves again. And maybe you don't like what you're listening to. And this is when people start feeling restless, not broken, not lost, and maybe some of you are, but restless, ready for something different, something more meaningful. And it's what I've done. I've totally done this. Research shows that job satisfaction often increases after 50 when people pivot into roles that aligned with their values. It's not about climbing the corporate ladder anymore. It's about creating a life that feels aligned with who you are. Let's not sugarcoat it. Ageism exists. I have experienced it. Maybe you have too. And if you have, I'd love for you to drop a note in the comments. But Here's the part that no one talks about. The fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States, people aged 55 to 64. Yep, I said that. People aged 55 to 64. I kind of got goosebumps because I'm a solopreneur. I don't have a team. Well, I kind of have a team, but it's me. I'm doing everything. And I have some people who help me, but it's all me. People over 50 are statistically more successful at launching sustainable businesses than younger founders. And employers are finally recognizing that maturity equals stability, wisdom, and reliability. Age is not a limitation. It's leverage, baby. Experience is a currency. Use it, all of it. So when you walk into a room at 50 plus, you're not competing with 25-year-olds. You shouldn't. You're offering what no one else can. Perspective, resilience, and emotional intelligence. So own it. I do. I am not in competition with the younger set. I am here to inspire my generation. I am not online if people are saying, oh my God, look at her. Okay, oh my God, look at her. I am 57. I'm going to be 58 in 2 weeks. I don't care. I'm not competing with a 25-year-old. I don't want to. I have lived a wonderful, amazing, full life. And so have you. I'm not competing with the younger people. I'm here to inspire people my age, maybe a little younger, and beyond. Because we are Gen X, and we don't give a fuck. And if my truck driving language has bothered you today, I'm truly sorry. Not. So, here are some powerful examples of powerhouses who made it later in life. And what's really funny is I had this script together and I saw an Instagram reel today of a woman, and it began with I'm 57, and she listed half the people I have listed here. So I thought that was really cool. Maybe she got it from the same source, but very interesting. So powerhouses over 50 who became powerhouses later in life. Vera Wang. She entered fashion at 40 years old. She became a global icon over 50. Before designing gowns, she was a figure skater and editor. And I remember when she started her line with Kohl's. So this probably was, 2025? Maybe around the time that I started writing online. Her PR people used to send me free samples and I would write about them. And it was wonderful. I still have some of her. I have this beautiful wrap dress that they had gifted me. Love it. Beautiful. She didn't release her first collection until 40. And her major worldwide success didn't peak until her 50s and 60s. Samuel L. Jackson, breakout role, age 46. Do you know the movie? I know the movie. Pulp Fiction. Kind of frightened me a little bit. It was a little creepy, a little bizarre, but a little awesome. Superstardom afterwards. His career, and I just adore him, his career transformed in his mid-40s, and he became one of the highest grossing actors after age 50. Fuck those snakes. Martha Stewart. Now, I'm not an incredible fan of Martha Stewart. I don't care that it's because she went to jail and went to Penn State. She built an empire in her 40s. She reshaped it in her 60s and 70s, and she had some problems. She had some stuff. Her second act continued even after those setbacks. Reinvention is her brand. Ray Kroc. Who is that? No, he's not the founder of Croc Shoes. In 1961, he bought McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers at age 52. He transformed a small burger stand into a global powerhouse. Julia Child became a world-renowned chef at 50. Her first cookbook was published at 50. Food TV wasn't even a thing yet she created her lane. Colonel Sanders founded KFC in his 60s. Proof that even 60 plus is still prime time. My clients. Now, before I tell you about my clients, I don't want anybody saying, oh my God, she's talking about her clients. First of all, I have permission to use their story. Everything, if you do become a client of mine, everything is completely confidential. And I've also changed their names. But the stories are true. Linda, at 57, went from being an HR manager and turned her life to a divorce coach. After divorcing her husband, she realized she wanted to help others heal. She went through certification, built a practice, and now works part-time from home on her own schedule, more fulfilled than she ever felt in corporate. Anthony, oh my God, I love Anthony. He's so cute. Not in that way. He's just the sweetest person. 62, former mechanic turned Etsy woodworking entrepreneur. His joints could no longer handle the physical demands of the job, so he started making custom cutting boards. Now he earns more and he works less, and he's totally fulfilled. Me, I'm 57. I will be 58 in 2 weeks. What's my story? Well, so this is episode 15. You can go back and look at some of my podcasts. I go through my story in various ways. But I threw it all to the wind probably about 5 years ago. I left my career of over 30 years. I've done a lot of different things. And since then, I became a certified coach. I launched this podcast. I wrote a book. I'm doing the second edition. This is the first edition. I'm doing the second edition. I'm adding more meat to it to see if cosmetology school is for you. I've completed a novel. I am on the first edit of that novel. I do work from home. I don't work part-time from home. I work full-time from home. I get up every day as if I am heading out to an office. Depending on where I have to go and what time my clients are, I'm up between 5 and 6 a.m. and I work until probably about 8:30 every single day. It doesn't become easier. It just becomes more fun because I am truly loving what I do. I love helping people. I do a lot of charity work as well. I do hospice care because I want to give back. And I do some group coaching for women of domestic violence. And I do offer some free coaching sessions for people who are in need, who are looking for a job. So I'm busy. I'm happy. I am truly in love with what I am doing. Got my little dog with me all the time. And I get to be around people because I go to tons of networking. There's some nutty people there. Tons of networking events. I'm going to one this evening and I'm so excited for it. So these stories aren't unicorns. They're proof. They're proof that you can do it too if you really want to. So here is your roadmap that you can use right now. Reconnect with what lights you up. For me, meditation became a priority of every day. I meditate every morning, and every morning I reflect in my meditative practice about what lights me up. For you, ask yourself, what have you always wanted to do? And really, you could journal this, you can write this down, you can have a conversation with a friend about this over coffee. You know, you could think about this before you go to bed, your significant other, whatever. But I also want you to ask yourself this question. If money wasn't a factor, what would your dream job be? If money wasn't a factor, What would your dream job be? What have you always wanted to do? What skills do I already have that people will pay for? You could sit down and write a list of things, even if you never worked a day in your life. If you were a homemaker, if you raised your children, if you organized for the PTA, if you were a fundraiser, those are skills that you can use. You organized your home, you decorated your home, whatever that happens to be. I help a lot of women after divorce reinvent themselves because for so many years they were struggling. They were housewives and now they have to work. What problem do you love solving? Then I want you to start small, but you got to start now. A dream is only a dream until you make that first step, whatever that is. You can think about things forever, but you have to make that first step. And even if that first step doesn't get you where you want it to go, you have to keep going and celebrate those small wins. So start small, but start now. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. Your second act can begin as I did it. With a class. I got certified. Well, I did my master's degree first, and then I got certified in coaching, and I did that while I was working. You could do weekend volunteering. You could do a side business, a creative project. Like I said before, tiny steps, and those tiny steps will lead to clarity. And then build your support team. It doesn't necessarily mean it's people that you have to pay for, but here's what you could use. A career coach like me. Accountability partners. Those could be friends. A mentor. You can find a mentor anywhere. Financial planners. This is not a solo mission. Plan financially. Don't panic financially. And if you don't know where to find these people, oh my goodness, this is so easy. I had somebody call me up the other day, literally, this gentleman is out of work and he wanted my services and he can't pay for them. So I helped him. And I told him that if he networked, and you can find networking events so easily. I'm not just talking about networking on LinkedIn or on social media. I'm talking about getting out of the house and finding a networking event in your area. Go on Eventbrite. There are tons of events you can go to that you don't have to pay for. It's how I started doing it. And I moved to a new city. I didn't know anybody. Not only a new city, I moved to a new state. I didn't know anybody. I knew a handful of people. And I just started networking. And I found financial planners. And oh my God, the amount of people who are there for you, who are willing to help because they're just looking to network. A pivot doesn't have to mean instability. You can transition gradually. You can keep part-time work. You can use your savings wisely. You can pick up extra work. I'm also, when I talked about all the things that I'm doing, I'm also going to be teaching teleclasses. I'm teaching a new generation of coaches. You could take advantage of midlife career programs. Start with a low overhead. I heard a podcast with this, my favorite, Mel Robbins. You know, I love her if you follow me. But she had this woman on, this was a while ago, very affluent in, or that's not the right word, prolific with AI. And she is a solopreneur. And I think that was probably the first time I heard that word. And she uses AI to help her with her business. And I'm sure there's other people in her business, as there are other people involved in mine. But it's literally all me. That's the low overhead. I'm not paying somebody to do my social media. I have a team, but my team is my secret. So that's the low overhead. A well-planned pivot is a sustainable pivot. So What's the mindset shift? I need a sip of water. Your second act isn't about starting over from scratch. I did. I'm bizarre. I did because I was completely unsatisfied and I had a tragic loss that I was dealing with. It's about starting over from experience. You are not behind. I say it again. You are not behind. You are not late. And you are certainly not out of time. Don't let anybody's labels of boomer affect you. You are right where you are supposed to be. You're right on schedule for chapter 2. And here's the big truth. Purpose doesn't come from age. Purpose comes from alignment. The older you get, the clearer you become. And that clarity is priceless. And I love being this age because as I dropped some F-bombs earlier, I'm going to leave you with this. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. I truly don't. So, thank you for joining me on today's episode of Sip on This. If you're over 50 and feeling that tug, that whisper that says, there's more for me, listen to it. Your second act is not a fantasy. Make it real. It's a decision. And it starts the moment you choose yourself. No more people pleasing. Choose yourself. If you're ready for support on your pivot, you know where you can find me. coachingwithmissd.com. So let's build your second act together. Don't forget, please subscribe. Drop me a comment. Share this with someone who needs a little encouragement. And come back next week for another episode of Sip on This. I hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving. I wish you lots of love this holiday season. Until next time, keep sipping. Keep growing, keep rising, and remember it's never too late to begin again and to live your life as your authentic self. Your version, no one else's.